Hey, what's up? It's Fusamania, and this is Drew Pierce, and today we are going to talk to you about what the different terms mean on direct music service.
Terms meaning how we're labeling everything. I mean, every DJ, honestly, you need to be labeling all your tracks, and you should be doing it per your stuff. So we're going to label it here on DMS. We have very specific terms, so we're going to explain to you what those terms mean, but at the same time, feel free to re-tag them how you feel. But we're going to break those down right now.
First is a standard intro edit where we add an 8-bar intro to a song, and we'll label that intro. A lot of times on DMS you won't even see the word intro on the site because it's just assumed that every track that goes up on DMS has an intro to it.
Yeah, one of our specialties on DMS is that we are a very intro-based site. So every single edit on DMS has an intro of some sort. So sometimes it's like a house track. The house track obviously is going to have super extended intro, different beats, and it's all on how you mix, right? But every track's going to have that 8-bar intro at least.
Yeah.
Unless it's relabeled.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, a drop-in, a cold start. There's a billion different terms for it. Scratch in, but those, unless it's labeled that way, expect it to have an 8-bar intro.
One of the things that you might see on the site is a cut down, and a cut down is just simply a song that's like 5 minutes that still doesn't make it under 3 minutes that we would tag a short edit. A short edit on the site tends to be between 2 minutes and 3 minutes, and that's what gets the term short edit. And a short edit is also assumed that it has an intro on it as well.
A lot of times you're going to see a cut down referring to a house track. Most of the time they're labeled on house tracks. Short edits are for the majority of the rest of the site, so we use those terms interchangeably. Short edit, again, 2 to 3 minutes, but nothing under 2 minutes. That would be a super short edit. A super short edit is under 2 minutes long.
Yeah, and with the super short, sometimes we give or take. You might go, oh my God, this one's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Is it a super short? Well, yeah, it just made sense in the way the other edits kind of fell through. So that's kind of our basic layout for edits and how they work on the site. Next up, we want to talk about the term bootleg and how we use that on the site. And a bootleg would be any track that is more housey or EDM driven, that has an acapella over a different instrumental. So 2 separate tracks, one an acapella from one track that already exists, and an instrumental from a track that already exists.
Yeah, bootlegs, like you said, very EDM based. Basically, the term mashup became null and void. It was very taboo. So we just scrubbed that off, and for the most part, you're going to see something more up-tempo, more EDM based is going to be a bootleg, which leads us into a blend. A blend is typically more hip-hop based. They, again, are interchangeable. Hip-hop blend would be an instrumental of one song and an acapella of another song. But the bootleg typically is more for, I don't even like that term, but yeah, it's kind of what is known in the industry. So we go with the bootleg for the EDM. The blend is more of a hip hop term.
Totally. We also use the term Frankenstein on the site. We haven't been using it as much, but what a Frankenstein is when you have multiple different edits or bootlegs and you're chopping them up and you're using multiple different things in one edit, and that kind of termed the Frankenstein of putting different pieces together.
It's a Frankenstein monster. Imagine Frankenstein where the head is literally ripped off somebody else and the body and the arm is ripped off somebody else. You're just fusing all of, say, like some of our Seratos, unfortunately, we'll have 10 versions of one song. So we like different parts of all those songs. So we're going to chop that together to make one new Frankenstein bootleg, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's all different versions of the same thing that we've chopped together to make the ultimate.
Yeah. And then that being said, that kind of takes us to the term remix, which a lot of times on the site you'll see a lot of official remixes, which means somebody takes a song and creates a whole new instrumental using chords or stuff that already exists with the song.
Full production.
Full production, that's correct. And A lot of unofficial remixes are coined bootlegs, but on our site, a remix is just a whole full production of an existing track.
It could be an official remix. It could just be something that one of our DMS team members have decided to add their own chords or add their own production to it. So it just depends on how much they borrowed from another track, whether it's a bootleg or it's an actual remix that they put in the time to redo the drums, redo the pianos, redo all the keys, and redo all the other stuff. So it's just that fine line again.
We also have the term ReDrum, and the ReDrum is just simply just that. It's where a track might not have enough oomph to it, you might say, or maybe it's just an older track and you kind of want it to be a little more punchy. Our editors or other friends of DMS that we post will go through a track and just completely reproduce all the percussion within the track.
Make it a hit harder. So sometimes it's a popular hip hop track that has, what would we say? He was really popular. He wasn't DJ Mustard.
Oh yeah.
A lot of old DJ Mustard stuff just didn't have really hard hitting drums. So we would add in drums to make a hit, or oldies tracks that just didn't have, the recording wasn't there. So we would redo that there. And add in drums to make it more mixable, just make it hit harder on the speakers. Really.
Totally. Basically, go listen to an original and then go listen to a Pete Down ReDrum, and you're gonna definitely notice the difference.
Yeah. Scooter ReDrum, Danny Diggs ReDrum, Fusemania ReDrum. There's tons on the site. Lots to go check out. Next up is segway. Segways are, think wordplay, think tone play, think something that's already been mixed together for you. So it's gonna go from Usher Yeah into Yeah 3 times.
Yeah, that might even be what we like to call a transition too, but that would be a transition segue because it has some wordplay with it. You might also hear like Cardi B, up, if it's up, if it's up, if it's up, nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. Like that would be a segue, and that's what we use the term segue for on our website, directmusicservice.com.
It's a pre-recorded transition that's going from, it doesn't always have to transition, change BPMs. It's gonna maybe stay in the same BPM, but it's gonna have that pre-made mix for you that's already done.
And then also, with that being said, we do have transition tracks on the site, and transition tracks go from one BPM to another BPM. So it's a tool that'll help you get maybe from 128 BPM house track down to a 70 BPM hip hop track.
Or 100 BPMs up to 130. Helps you bounce around so that you're being able to play the next song and just flawlessly into the other song.
We also have acapella outs on the site. Typically, they are an 8-bar acapella out that you would play an instrumental of the next song coming into. That would help you keep things very well mixed in your set. A lot of times when playing acapella outs, you want to play a noticeable intro edit with it, not just like a flat drum or flat drums. You would want to play something that hopefully is in key first, and then putting something that has a pretty strong, maybe even what I would say is like a notable or noticeable instrumental with the crowd, for the crowd to understand underneath that acapella mixing into it.
Like something, for instance, maybe Jackson 5, I Want You Back, acapella out, and you would do Staying Alive. It has that noticeable bass line, it rides in it. It's almost like doing a live mashup. It's an edit that has been pre-curated so that you're able to sound unique, and that instead of a segue where it's all predetermined where it's going to go, the acapella out allows you to mix and match that live mashup into something else. So it could have Staying Alive, it could go into 24K Magic, just something along the same BPM but in that same key as well. That helps you sound fresh.
Yeah, and it just keeps a cleaner sound using the acapella with an intro that is more noticeable and heavier sounding.
Just don't do it with a flat beat, because you're ruining it. Just play the regular one.
It sucks all the energy out of the track if you do that.
Yeah.
So I would make sure that if you're using an acapella out, that you definitely have a strong intro edit to go with it.
Yeah, we're going to be doing our tagging, and we have some great tips on how you should be tagging your files to make it a little bit easier to find those really cool intros to go with those acapella outs.
Yeah, and next thing we have on the site that we use are drop-in edits or slam edits, and what that is just an intro that starts on a one that you can cold drop out of a song. So maybe the chorus is ending of the song and you just want to drop something real quick to change up the tempo or something like that, of that nature.
It's a great way to just shake the crowd to go, wait, what's happening right now? Oh, and then it goes into the next beat. And typically we would do it into a lot bigger track, or just, instead of a lengthened transition that takes forever to get to, this just comes right in, boom, you're already there. And the song's so big that it doesn't need no introduction. Right?
Yeah.
Basically.
I play slam edits a lot of times too for a song that I want to slam in with like some kind of impact, like a doosh, and then an acapella comes. Nothing could stop me. I'm all the way up into the beat of the song. So that's a way that I'll use slam edits a lot of times. And with that being said, we have one edit left that we're going to talk about, and that's just a simple hook-only edit where it's an intro, outro, but we are just playing the hooks on that song. So
yeah, a lot of these songs, let's be honest, these songs are here today, gone tomorrow. So the kids want to hear the hooks. We chop up the hooks. We play the hook. Boom, boom. It's for that impact. It's that wow moment. It's whatever you're doing on TikTok. It's probably just the hook, anyways, right? So it's that wow moment. Hook on to something else. Just keep it running.
Yeah, and with what we've been saying here, there is no right or wrong to how you label things. This is just how we do things over at Direct Music Service, and we kind of just wanted to make it a video to explain to you guys the different terms and our thoughts on how, they get labeled this way.
Yeah, so on the site we do our best for genres to be tagged. We do all the artists specifically tagged, and also on the titles will always be specifically tagged, clean or dirty. Unless there is no dirty version of a song, then it's assumed that it's clean. So something to look out for and just pay attention to.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this video and you found it informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll answer any of those.